Hello there, thank you for staying with us and welcome to Face Off. I am Nelta Igbe. Yes, indeed. What's today's date? Some might say, yes, the 13th of May, and we're counting down to May the 29th. Beyond that, there are going to be a lot of appointments, and indeed, a lot of people are going to be elected into several positions in the National Assembly and even across board in the executive as well. So the question begins to arise. What exactly is the criteria that's going to be used for the different appointments? As the presidential power returns back to the north and the general outlook on the landscape is showing that the gradient is becoming steep. As the day becomes night, the tussle for various positions across board, across the geopolitical zones, and stretches across the country, and the intrigues of who takes what zone gets what, is taking quite an interesting turn. And guess what? There is no shortage of comments. With the PDP relegated to being the minority in both chambers of the 8th National Assembly, the APC has adopted the zoning formula. Is it true? Someone said they have not officially said anything about zoning. So what is the plan? Some have said stick to a zoning formula. Some have said don't bother about the zoning formula, because while the zoning formula will take care of the federal character issue and take care of all the geopolitical zones, it will negate the issue of competence. So the question we ask tonight is, should the zoning formula, and indeed should the federal character, so to speak, be the criteria, the major issue when it comes to appointment or election into any position? Should it take care of or override competence? Where does competence come into play in all of this? This is what we're looking at tonight. I have two gentlemen in the studio. One of them is a professor of history and a security consultant, Dr. Femi Adebulu. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
And the other person is a communications specialist. I'm sure he'll get to understand. Otumba Ajiboye. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Nelta. Thank you.
All right, gentlemen, each of you has 10 seconds each to state your position. Let me begin with you. Otumba Ajiboye, what is your position?
Well, I think
zoning or competence?
I think zoning is just right. It's politically expedient.
Thank you. Adebulu?
Well, we should not take zoning to actually override competence, because without competence, the people will just be there as figureheads.
Thank you. All right, we'll take a quick break, and when we'll come back, we'll get down to, as we say here, to the get down. Should zoning override competence? We'll be back shortly. But do remember that you can be a part of the conversation. Our Twitter handles are on the screen. Tweet at Channels TV, or send a mail to faceoff@channelstv.com, or tweet at us at faceofftoday or at Nelta Igbe. We'll be able to bring forth your comments in the course of the program. Back shortly. Please don't go away. Oh, welcome back. As we said, you can be a part of the conversations. Our Twitter handles at Nelta Igbe or at faceofftoday. Then you can send us a mail if your comments or questions are longer than 140 characters. faceoff@channelstv.com. We're asking, should there be zoning at all? Should it be considered in the appointment across board or in the elections into the various arms of the National Assembly, the principal officers in the National Assembly? We'll continue our conversation here. Mr. Ajiboye says, yes, it is. Zoning should be the focus. And Dr. Adebulu says, no, that shouldn't be the focus. Okay, so since you gave your opening statement, first, ask the first question. And he must answer.
Oh, well, Mr. Ajiboye, let me ask you.
Ajiboye, sir.
Okay, Otumba Ajiboye, sorry, pardon my...
It's okay.
Okay, when you say zoning,
yeah.
So where do you put competence? For instance, if there are people who are competent to take a particular position in a particular zone, okay, and because of this principle of zoning that you're advocating, so should they be sidelined just because we need to zone the position that these people are qualified for to another zone? Is that what you are saying?
No, that's not what I'm saying. I do not undermine competence in any circumstance. Every nation requires, ample competence to be able to run a country properly. So competence is important. My point is very simple. We are running a federalism. Nigeria is a federal state. And competence is not in short supply in Nigeria. Go to any geographical zone of Nigeria. There is competence everywhere. We are not anymore in the 60s or 50s where we say the North is not educated. The North is as educated as the South today. Therefore, competence is not an issue in contention in this argument.